My issue.
No. Some of my models yesterday were. Oh, so hot.
It's a nice baseline.
Just let me love you. Let me love you.
Think about three.
Just let me love you. Baby, I know the world can be so cold, but all that hate inside your heart is starting to get old. I need you, I need you, I need you to let it go. Why hold on to glitter when God is giving you gold?
Hold you down, let me love you. You be surprised what little love do. See it ain't rise what you done been through. Places you been, bet I've been there too. Heartbreak came and I play no games. What you felt probably but the same thing, same the same song. Oh my lord, felt like I done been here before. Why you do me dirty? What you do that for? Why you ever come and knocking on my door? Good lord, and you done been through the motions. You don't wanna talk, so your arms stay folded. You don't wanna love, so your heart never open. Stay hostile till your eyes stop closing. Hold up, no, change your perception. Allow me to.
Hey, hey, hey.
How y'all doing today?
I'm Twanda,
And this is Mike.
and welcome to Black Love Conquers.
Black Love Wins.
Yes, yes. Today we're gonna talk about excuse me. We're gonna talk about insecurities.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. I was asked a question from a young lady that's married, and she asked, "How do I deal with?" Well, she said, "How should she deal with her husband's insecurities?" Because I'm like, mine don't have none, but that I know of. So I'm gonna ask you, what would you tell her coming from a man's point of view, how to deal with her husband's insecurities?
Well, I'm being as honest as I can about this. Men are going to do what you let them do.
Okay.
If you let a man cheat one time and all he gets back is an argument, or you say I'm gonna leave you and you
But
don't.
hold on,
No, hold on.
But I
Hear me
wasn't
out.
talking
You
about
asked
from
me.
that point
What?
as far as his insecurities, as what she was telling me is that if she's talking to another guy, as far as just friends, he don't want. I say she was to get her hair cut,
Right.
and he wouldn't want a man cutting her hair. Like if she was to go to a barber, it would have to be a female barber, or if she was, she just was telling me that he has so many insecurities.
Oh, so he's a scared, real thorough. I mean, he's a scared, thorough type nigga.
Yeah, don't say that word. We don't
Well.
say that word. I guess that's what you can call it.
Right.
So
He's a scared, thorough dude. Then
he's an insecure type of guy.
fake, scared, thorough dude.
Okay, okay. What you call it, what you want.
Yeah,
But
that's what he is.
why do you think he's like that? Like I told her, I think it's something within him because that's crazy. I mean, you going to get your hair cut from a barber in a public spot, or
Well, it could be a while back or prior to that relationship, he was deep into somebody and she hurt him and he don't want to feel that no more.
yeah, but a healthy relationship can't have insecurities. I don't care what type of. It could be.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like when I was back in the day, I was like maybe 16 years old, right? Okay. I did just the opposite of what he did. I was 16 years old. I was all into this chick. She hurt me.
Oh.
I actually sat on the bed beside her and cried. And I said to myself, this will never happen to me again. And that's when I became a hoe after that. So I took the opposite route, but everybody ain't like me.
So because she hurt you, you started hurting others.
No, I wouldn't
Yes.
say I hurt others. I wouldn't let anybody else hurt me.
Well, I would say I wasn't in your life back then.
And I didn't care anymore.
Right, so you started hurting others, and that's
No.
what
They wasn't hurt.
they were. Coming from what you've told me, again, I wasn't in your life back then, but
I
hear
didn't
me
hurt
out.
them. I didn't hurt them.
If you got caught cheating with a woman in your girlfriend's house, isn't that hurting somebody?
See, that's a whole nother story.
But
right
that's
there.
still cheating.
I wasn't talking about that though.
Oh, okay, but
See,
you,
that's the fast forward part. All right? We ain't got to that yet.
But you did hurt someone before.
I've hurt a few people
Okay,
before.
that's what I'm saying. So because someone
But
hurt
it wasn't
you,
intentionally though.
you intentionally took another woman over another woman's house.
I was just being a hoe, like I said.
So you became a hoe because a woman hurt you, and that's where the saying come from. Hurt people.
Yeah.
So you were hurt, and so you took it out on all those women
I
that you
didn't
hurt.
intentionally hurt anybody, okay? I never set out to hurt anybody. If it happened, it happened. I'm sorry.
Okay, baby, come on
But
over
if
this
you
side.
let me get away with it, I'm going to do it again. See, and that's what's wrong with women nowadays. They let men get away with stuff.
I agree.
And that's why some of us are the way we are because of y'all. Well, partially because of y'all.
Hold up. When you say some of y'all,
I said
say some
partly
of
because
them
of y'all.
Because you ain't getting away with nothing. I already told you what would happen.
Oh, I'm busting it out
I
today,
already told
homie.
you. Yeah, I understand.
I'm keeping
a
it real,
woman,
like I said in the first episode.
A man would only do what a woman allow him, and that's why I try to teach women. You know, I'm not taking nothing. Everybody can to each his own, but I refuse to be miserable in a relationship. Not purpose. Now, what I don't know, but when I know, there's no second, third, and fourth. Maybe in my 20s, but at this age now, I'm not saying, oh, I forgive you.
How old are you?
Child, did he just do that to me? Child, I would bust a split on you, and they would think I'm in my 20s. Don't play with me.
Child, please.
Okay, so have you ever felt insecure in this 20-year marriage?
No, never.
Why not?
Why? Because I'm
point.
confident of myself, and I know what I bring to the table.
Okay.
And not just talking about sex. I mean, I
No.
bring a whole lot to the table, and it's going to be hard for you to go out here and find what I bring to the table. So why am I tripping? Why trip?
Okay. I don't even know how to respond to that, but okay. So let me ask you this. I know you said that you have never felt insecure, but do you trust me? Do you think you have too much trust in me? Or is there such thing in a relationship where you can have too much trust so you don't keep your eyes wide open?
It is, but I have just enough trust in you to not get hurt again.
Okay.
All right? Not saying I don't truly love you, because I do.
I know.
But I always got my guards up just in case you want to act the fool.
Really? I'm learning
Right.
something.
Oh, yeah. Child, please.
Okay. So do you believe in second chances? Like, I know I said I don't, as far as in a relationship at this point at my age. Or our age.
No, I don't believe in second chances. I mean, if I do something, I've done it on purpose, so I don't deserve a second chance. And if you do something, you damn sure don't deserve a second chance.
Whoa!
Oh, child, please. Because there's no such thing as accidentally going somewhere with a dude, wherever.
Hold up, can I stop you? But
Mike
you
talking,
just said back then
Mike
that
talking
you
right
didn't
now.
accidentally
That was
hurt
back
that,
then. Mike talking, okay? There's no such thing as accidentally going somewhere with a dude. You gotta raise something up or pull something
It's
down.
not always about sex
Mike
or
still
anything like
talking.
that.
Pull your underwear down, then separate yourself. That's 4 or 5 steps right there. Through all that, you done thought about damn, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Okay, whatever. Oh, hell to the no.
Okay, so you got that.
When only thing me gotta do is stand up, unzip, and flip it.
Doesn't matter
But either
which
way is wrong.
Cheating is cheating.
Both ways are wrong. I
So
totally agree.
Okay, so do you think cheating could be without sex? Like it could be having a mental. I mean, what you want to call it? Where you having a.
Were you daydreaming about doing somebody?
No, ain't nobody. Keep your mind out the gutter.
Okay, so what are you talking
No,
about?
I'm saying where you have that mental connection with somebody, but it's nothing sexual. But say I'm just talking to a guy, we're always talking on the phone or, social media or something like that. Do you consider that cheating?
Oh, it depends on what y'all talking about.
Just a little bit of everything. Like, do you believe in having, do you believe that it's cheating if you have some type of connection with the opposite sex, as far as, and y'all just have this
It
bond?
all depends on what type of connection and what type of bond. Like, I have female friends that you know about.
And I better always know about. But go ahead, finish that sentence.
See, you didn't have to say that.
Go ahead, finish that sentence.
But you know about all my female friends, and I invite you into our conversation.
Yeah, most of the time they call me. Yeah.
Right, so.
But how about if I had a friend, and this is just, hypothetically speaking, you all. How about if I had a male friend that you didn't know about, and I was like, oh yeah, later on you find out, I'm like, oh, that's my buddy. We've been talking for 2 or 3 years, only doing internet or something like that. Is that cheating? And we're helping somebody.
Oh, it depends on what I found out about that, what y'all did.
Okay, well, we always know that I have, I can get in your social media and you can get in mine. So there's nothing like that.
Because
there's no
I'm not
insecurity.
cheating.
Right, and there's no insecurities between this relationship.
Oh, damn sure.
Right, I trust you.
All right, cool.
You trust me?
Next question.
No, let them know. Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got too much to lose.
As long as I can see you. Where you at? You stupid.
I trusted you so much that I allowed you to go down Miami without me.
You allowed me? Well, that was a business trip.
No, that was the Texas trip, was the business. I'm talking about Miami. That wasn't no business trip.
That was a TV show shoot we had down there.
I know, I was part of that TV show.
That was the men's side shooting down there.
We're not even going to talk about it. But anyway, I trusted you to go down there. And even
you
though...
had no reason not to trust me.
At that time, and we're going to talk about this for a minute, y'all. At that time, I didn't have it. But my instincts, my gut, and it came out later that one of the friends of the friend of the friend that was down there was trying to get you to hook up with the girl. And your honesty, and I thank you for telling when you showed her to me and everything, and I could just speak to her. How y'all doing? And I don't even know that she ever know that I know, but you told me.
Know that.
Yeah, you told me. I mean, I didn't, because I trusted you.
Okay.
And knowing the type that they were, they would have let me know if anything had went down, because they would have tried to throw it in my face. That's what I'm saying about trust. You got to have a lot of trust in a relationship to be able to allow your husband to go all the way down Miami.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't far.
Yeah, but with the guys that you went with, and everybody wasn't married.
So what do they have to do with me?
I'm just saying, usually when married,
What?
usually like they say, married women shouldn't hang with single women, and like married men shouldn't hang with single men, because usually there's a temptation, that come up. So I'm saying I had that much trust in you that I didn't trip who you was going with as far as the guys.
And that's because you knew what type of man I am.
That's right.
All right,
That's
so
right.
it shouldn't matter who I went with.
Oh, come on now. I wouldn't advise nobody to say, okay, it doesn't matter who he going with, you trust him. No, it wasn't even really about you. I just told God, show me if He do something, whatever. God is in you, is on you, God.
Okay.
And so I can't at this age. I don't think nobody with any age should be tripping off of worrying, stressing out whether you're man or woman cheating. No, and I understand when we're in our teenage years and maybe early 20s, but I figure after 25, I ain't taking no crap from nobody. So, trust. I can only trust you. Okay.
And that's all I ask for.
Now, I brought up insecurities. Now, what do you want to bring up? So you never prepared for this podcast.
No, the kids in here.
Okay, well, we're not going to. Come on. And plus, it's PG rated. Come on.
Oh, okay. All right, okay, cool. What has been the most pleasant and the most unpleasant part about our 20-year marriage?
I can tell you the funniest things. You know what's always funny? I'm going to skip it for a minute so I can come on. I think it's real funny, cute, and it just tickles me that, especially in our early years of marriage, when people used to think I was your daughter. I used to love that. They were like, Mikey, what's up, Mike? Oh, this your daughter? I used to love that. I must be getting a little older now because I don't get that too much. My age must start to show. But as far as the most pleasant,
You stupid.
I think our bond. I always felt that we had a closeness, a bond, and it started from our friendship when we used to talk about anything. And I think our bond. We have a true bond. Even though you get on my nerves some of the times, but that
that's
bond.
Supposed to happen.
So many things has happened in this marriage, especially the things I went through with, family and stuff. But I think our bond has always been that nobody could ever come between us. We never had any outside problems where a guy or girl, we never had that. I could hang out with one of my old buddies and stuff. We always, it's just that bond. Who used to treat us and stuff like that. Not you, me, my John, or me and Nook, or me and Nene. I ain't calling no name. But anyway, it was that bond, our bond. The worst thing about our marriage, I don't know. It's nothing. It's nothing. Why, you have one?
Yeah.
Damn, tell me.
The worst thing I hate about our marriage is our petty, stupid arguments.
Oh, that's to keep I got to start some drumming. I
No, the
love
hell
that
you
to have
don't.
fun. I like to joan and play. You know that. I'm going to joan and play.
I ain't talking about the Joan and the planes.
Where the petty
part.
arguments going to come. I get mad if I say, like, when it's always about, the crumbs? The crumbs on the thing that if you just open some bread and you leave the crumbs. What's the other one?
What crumbs?
Like, what's the pettiness? Give me an example. Be careful.
Our biggest argument is probably over.
No, it's not finances. I think you spend too much. Now, yeah, you're right. It's over that. But not finances like, we struggling like that. It's finance like we could have just left out the house.
Okay.
Just left out the house where we
Okay.
got water, juice, soda, everything.
Okay.
We get to Dunkin' Donuts. What the hell do you go in there and buy? A soda or water. And I'm like, you just left out the house.
Okay. But by the time we got down there, it would have been cold no more.
But
Those
are the problems.
I don't drink no hot sodas or hot water.
Those are the problems.
Warm soda
But
or
you
warm
just
water.
left out.
I like mine cold.
But those are the petty.
I
Those
like the
are the
sweat
ones.
on the side of the bottle.
Excuse me. Those are the petty ones.
No.
Yeah. Or when you had wore a T-shirt or something one time, right? And
Okay.
it get washed or going to cleaners, and then you're cutting it up, and you might be walking around the house. And I'm like,
It
you
shrunk.
just bought that T-shirt.
It shrunk.
Those are the petty arguments.
Who's to wear a young shirt outside?
But those are the petty arguments, or Like, yeah, they're petty. They're not arguments
That's
to me.
why I buy more than one T-shirt at a
But
time.
I'm saying those are the petty arguments. The little things like that. Or if I argue with you, or like why you leave your charger in the socket. Those things.
Because I ain't take it out yet.
What? The electricity. Those are our petty arguments, our disagreements.
And fellas, don't you agree? If she tell you something one time, she ain't got to tell you no more because you didn't forget. Thank you.
No.
Tell me one time, I got it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. If I ain't going to do it, I ain't going to do it.
Well, I just like
But
to remember.
keep and remind me.
I don't keep. I
that
have to tell you
pisses
again
me off.
just to see if you remember what I asked you.
You
to
don't
do.
have to.
But then you'll say, "Oh
I'm not
damn,
different.
why you didn't remind me?" Or if we supposed to do something, "Oh damn, why you didn't remind me?"
No, see, that's something totally different right
No,
there.
if I'm gonna remind you of everything.
Pick and choose.
No, I'm gonna remind you of everything.
You don't have to.
I have to.
And then when I turn the tables and do it to you, you be like, well, two wrongs don't make it right.
It never do.
Child, please.
What two wrongs make a right at?
It feels good.
No, I don't mind you reminding me of stuff.
You ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to tell me. I know.
Y'all, he is playing. If
Child,
I was that
please.
bad, then why you stayed for 20 years?
The kids.
So stop blaming.
I
You
want the
keep
kids
bringing
to-
up them kids. For God's sake.
I want the kids to be
You
fatherless.
keep bringing up them kids. You know what you said at the last one. They're going to think something.
What?
The last
I want the kids
podcast.
to be fatherless.
But them kids grow.
Only
yeah.
in numbers.
True.
Only in numbers.
What's the best part? Having fun, humor.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun because you both as dirty as I don't know what sometimes. I mean, it could be times we're upstairs in the bedroom, right? We sit on the bed and, you know, we talking whatever, and you say, where my glasses? Where my glasses? And I'll be damned if they ain't on the top of your head. I'm just looking at you. Where my glasses? Where my glasses? I'm looking right at you. At your glasses.
Okay, I got you. Okay, okay. That's a good one.
And that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's talk about this. And you probably don't agree, but I know my daughters will. So now, let's talk about the style competition that we have.
As you know,
I don't know.
well, as you heard from all
I
my
don't know because I
people
know
you come in contact
No,
with.
I know what people tell you about
no,
me.
No. See, all you people smoke and drink, get high.
No, they don't. Stop lying.
You know that all you people tell you back in the day, I put it on.
Okay, now what do everybody
I put it
always say
on.
about me? She been doing this since elementary. Elementary, I always dress the way I have always. But I would
Which
truly
back
say
then didn't count.
it did count. I've been dressing from elementary on. I say I changed.
Child, please.
No, seriously. I just think that we both have. I think God did this really because you had your style, I had mine. I didn't have to change you. I had to,
You
tweet
had
it
to
a
do
little
nothing.
bit.
Yeah, but not just buy me what I asked you to buy.
tweet it a little bit, but I will say I think I dress better than you. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna argue about that because half the time I'm in my work uniform anyway.
I mean when we're out and about.
Well, all depends on what I feel like putting on. I mean, I could do what I got to do when I got to do it. You know what I'm
Shut
saying?
that old little boy, shut up. No, I think it's a friendly competition in our family. Even with the kids, I think our style has just, came upon them and they put their own twist on it. I think that's who we are. DMV, first family of.
Style.
Not fashion, because everybody does fashion, but I think our style is just us.
Okay.
And it helps our family. What advice would you give someone listening right now that's dealing with insecurities in their marriage?
Well, what kind of insecurities are you talking about?
Like just insecurities as far as in their marriage when their spouse is not around them. You know, they feel like their spouse is always cheating or something like that, or they're not.
Well,
They're
maybe there's a reason why. Well, I'm sure there's a reason why your spouse isn't around, and it could be because for a male or female, they don't like the way their spouse is nagging. They don't like the way their spouse look when they come home from a hard day's work. They don't like the way their spouse argues about small stuff. Or it could be just they see something outside the marriage that's more attractive to them in a certain area than their spouse is right now. So do they tell that spouse, look, I need you to sharpen the edge on this and that and that. But if they did that, would that throw a monkey wrench in the spouse game, thinking he or she has it all together, but in reality, they don't? And would they get offended by that?
Okay, let me give you something that.
You didn't answer my question.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think.
So what's your honest opinion on that?
I think if a person has insecurities, it's from within. Nobody can make you feel a certain way unless you allow it. It's something within you, because this is me. I can't. If you're cheating or anybody's out there cheating, or just say somebody you look real good. So every time you step out the house, I'm feeling that you're going out cheat. That's within me.
Right.
Nobody can make you feel insecure. If you think your spouse is cheating or out doing whatever, then confront it, or get some evidence or whatever. But I'm not sitting in the house worrying, stressing over nobody.
Right.
Nobody. I read the other day where a lady said her and her husband of, I think it was 14 years, and they got into a really, really bad argument, and he started telling her, he was telling her how, about her looks, how she don't cook, just calling her all type of bad names. And then he got on a telephone and was talking about her to somebody else. Now, hold up.
That's a girl move. Right
Yeah. Then after a couple of days, he apologized, but she was saying that those words that he said still echoed in her head. And the people that he had talked about her to, they all were supposed to have some type of outing together. And she was feeling like, how can I be around these people after he said what he said? And then again, now he really, because she never felt insecure about her, the way she looked. But because of what he said, she was now feeling insecure about how she looked. What would you say in reference to that whole scenario?
Well, first of all, dude should have been talking like a little girl. So that's a point taken away from him, from his manhood, in my opinion.
Okay.
So she ain't dealing with a whole man from the jump. And what he said about her, you said that she heard it from someone else?
No, she was in the room as he was talking on the telephone.
And she heard him? Well, she should have confronted him and say, look, I just heard you, man.
She did.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, but the words were already out his mouth. Like he was talking about her looks and her
Once
cook
it come out,
right.
You can't take it back.
Right. So, but he apologized later in the week. So now she's feeling.
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, she's feeling like it's time for her to walk away.
It is, especially if it was something real, real bad that really, really hurt her.
Yeah.
She just seen what he truly is about. So if you stay with what you just seen was truly him, then it's now on you.
Right, because it's already in him, and his anger just made it come up, because that's how he truly felt about her. I agree. I agree. And that is sometimes verbal abuse is worse than.
Once again, that goes to say we would do what you let us do.
You're right, but that can go both ways too. Women will only do what a man allowed them to do too when it comes to a relationship, because it's not always what the man out here cheating and hoeing and da da da.
Right.
I mean, women do cheat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I've never cheated since I've been married, but I have been in a relationship where I had someone thinking that I was so crazy over them, but the whole time I was cheating too, and it was just playing the game. I always said I should have been an actor, playing the game. Oh, you don't be out here doing this, you da 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 da. But the whole time I was cheating. So, but like I said, once I said my vows, is to do or die. We're gonna do this thing till one of us die. And if I die first, you better not get remarried. No, I'm just playing. I want you to be happy no matter what.
Oh, I was.
You was gonna be married or you was gonna be happy? I want you to be happy.
I was.
Why do you always have to do this?
Do what?
Stop talking back.
I'm not talking about it. I'm just giving you my opinion.
And if you should die before me,
I'd be dead, I wouldn't know.
and I'd be rich. Woo, so no, I'm just playing.
You stupid.
Woo, 2 million. No, I'm just playing. All right, so what else you want to talk about with this Black Love Conquers, Black Love Wins podcast?
How about the Redskins?
So now you want to fight. Like, you just said petty fight. That's a major fighting right there. No, let's talk about the Giants. They both in the same boat, right?
Okay, but we feel better about ourselves than y'all do.
How the hell you know how they
well,
feel?
I feel better about my team than y'all
I don't
feel about y'all team.
I don't have Redskins not my team. God my team.
See, and y'all got some sometime
Why
fans.
we talk? This is about love and marriage. I don't want to talk sports.
It is about love. I love watching football. I love
Okay.
watching y'all lose.
Can we talk about something else? Let's talk about when the women go to church but the man don't.
Okay.
No, what's your take on that? Do you think a marriage could sustain, even in a relationship? But we don't talk about relationship. We talk about marriage because that's where we are. So, do you think a marriage could sustain with the woman going to church but the man don't? He don't even somewhat acknowledge God. Like, he know God is real. Do you think a marriage could last?
It can, and I've seen it work for myself and my parents.
Okay, do
See,
tell.
Moms was constantly going to church, dragging us up the hill, all 4 of us, and Pops, he would stay at home the whole time.
Hold up, it's 5 of y'all.
Well, it was 4 back then.
Okay, good.
So eventually, he got tired of her going up to the church and come back home, all happy and stuff, and he wanted to find out for herself.
So she never tried to make him go to church.
No.
She would just
She never tried to make him. She just did what she had to do.
Okay.
And he seen that, so he wondered what was going on. So he went down to the church, and next thing you know, he got hooked.
But he never thought she was down there messing with somebody or anything like that. He just wanted to know more about God or what was going on in the church or like.
He wanted to know why she kept going down there. And so when he got down there, he found out what it was all about for real, and then he got hooked. He joined the church. He got in the ministry. He became a deacon, had a deacon board. He became a minister and head of ministries, and now he's a pastor of his own church.
So do you think, do you think in this generation, like right now, our age and younger, do you think a marriage could last? I know prayer works, and I know, but do you think, because that was like old school, the way, because your mother was.
But the old school, the best school.
Of course, but a lot, like right now, there's a lot of marriages where you always see just the woman, the wife, and you never see the husband. And even when sometimes when a preacher will preach and the woman, and he might say, you know, y'all spouse, and people will go hit the altar or whatever. So do you think in this time that relationships can really sustain without both parties, you know, praising and worshiping God?
As long as they have an understanding, yeah, I think it could work.
You do?
I mean, because you can praise God in your house.
Yeah, yeah.
And if she just chooses to do it elsewhere and he chooses to do it in the house or by himself, it can still work.
So what, in
regardless.
reference to tithing, like if he's not, you know, you're supposed to tithe, the Bible says. So if she's giving her 10%, right? And he believe in God, but he just don't come to church or anything like that. So do you think that by him, when she say, give me your tithe, like he don't believe in putting money in the church. And I've heard of relationships where that's the problem, because he's taking his money and doing whatever, but she's paying her 10%, and they're having, you know, problems because he don't believe in putting money in the church.
Okay, well,
That she's now hiding money to put in the church. You know what I'm saying? She's hiding her 10%.
okay,
Or
well,
keeping it.
she can't worry about the way that dude feels.
Right.
You know, she got to keep on doing and believing in what she believes in and do what she got to do, because salvation is a self-expression.
Right.
You know, you
Right.
have a personal relationship with God, and if that's what she has to do, then she keeps doing that. And if he don't want to tithe or whatever, he don't have to. And that's not saying he's going to hell because he don't tithe.
Right.
He just don't.
Well, he
you
can't.
know,
Yeah, cause you're right.
You don't
you're
believe
right.
in that part.
Right. You know, some people believe in half of the Bible. Some people don't believe in it at all. No, to each his own.
Exactly.
Okay, Mr. Credle. So, anything else you want to discuss? You know, I can talk forever now that I done got over my shyness.
I know.
Yeah, you might want to. We on live.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing this
Like you
mic?
might want to.
That's one.
See, he's never prepared. He think that he can just come in and, you know, just let it flow. And that's
Well,
good, but we're trying to help
You love
others.
to talk, so I just normally let you talk.
I do.
And I
do
just
love to
respond.
talk. Because I was shy for so many years that, you know, just started talking. But let's go to another subject, okay?
I'm waiting on you.
So I leave, but
I let you.
let's talk about in-laws. Like, I know when my father was alive, you know, he loved you truly. And your mother and father, oh, I love them. But why do you think that we never had problems with in-laws, whether it's sisters, cousins?
Well, that's an easy one.
Go ahead.
We don't let them in our business.
So what advice would you give someone that's
Don't
watching?
let your in-laws in your business.
Never.
Keep your business to yourself.
I would agree to a certain extent, because I would agree to keep your in-laws and everybody out your business. But if it's in reference to domestic violence or anything like that, you need to let someone know.
Of course. I
Yeah,
mean,
but you know, a lot of times in domestic violence, people don't want nobody to know. So I'm just giving a piece of advice. Let someone know. But as far as your marriage and, you know, the good, the bad, you ain't getting whipped or nothing, keep everybody out. Keep everybody out. Don't pick up that phone when he done something wrong and call your girlfriends, call anybody, and then when y'all back friends, then your girlfriends and them looking at him crazy. You know,
that's where you got your daughters to call. You call them.
that's fam. That's different. I would never tell them nothing. A lot of times I act like I'm talking to somebody, but you know, goodness well, my kids, nobody knows nothing that goes on in this marriage, and you know that. So you can cut
Only
that.
Moochie.
But you don't even know. Why would I talk to an 18, 19-year-old? Well, man, Moochie be talking about trying to get him his career higher.
Walls talks.
Yeah, me and Moochie talk about his career and trying to get you off the bus voluntarily so you can retire. That's all we talk about. So I guess, you ready to wrap it up?
No, we got 15 minutes.
Okay, well, talk, Mr. Credle. You're going to have to start talking more.
10 minutes. All right,
You know
cool.
you can't talk. You can't tell time. Come on, talk.
That's when you don't wear a watch.
And I have a lot of them. You're right. I thank you for the watches that you bought, but I don't wear watches. So that's why I keep talking, because this dead. See, we would be off the air if this. How we gonna go national, international if you sitting up here having this dead stuff?
Just shut up and ask me
Come
something.
on. Why I gotta ask you? Ask me. Okay, see what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna keep it going. That's why we always on joke time. I will only say in reference to merch. Keep that humor. Keep that humor in your merch. Have fun. But the main thing is keep God. Man, if it wasn't for God, I probably would have walked out a long time ago. Nothing major. Both. It's just that when we first got married, I'm so used to always being in control, and I didn't like sharing, and I didn't like sharing. I like everything a certain way in the house, and
you still try to do it that way. Mainly in the beginning of our marriage, here's the real deal. It was like two people coming together with two separate worlds, doing what they used to like to do, and when it was time to peel off some of that I and me, it started to hurt, and we started to rebel against each other. And that's where a lot of arguments came, because in the beginning, it was a lot of times I wanted to say hell with it.
I know, but you didn't.
Hell with it.
Soon when you try to walk out that door, get back in here.
Child, please.
No, I mean, like I said, because I always, I'm not gonna say I always been arrogant. It was almost like it was me. It was about me, and I didn't like sharing. I didn't like sharing. I didn't want to share the bathroom. I wanted my space. I didn't want to share closet space. Oh my goodness,
That's why I got a little bit of space in there now.
Yes, like I'm learning. I get you, but that was the biggest problem, closet space. So, but we worked it out. Thankful God, and it's been good. God been in control, and we thank you all. And until next time, Black Love wins. I'm sorry,
what?
Black Love conquer. Black Love conquer.
Black Love wins.
Stay tuned for more. Thank
Mike,
you.
This is Tawana. You can find us on Nekedie TV every Sunday, 4 o'clock. YouTube, Periscope, and whatever one that.
We thank you all.
YouTube,
Love you.
Facebook and Periscope, 4 o'clock Sundays. See you next week.
Amen.